Oi, meu nome é Amanda e hoje eu vou fazer a leitura do livro Robinson Crusoe, capítulo 1. The Ace Test. I was born in 1632 in the city of York. My father was German, but he moved to Hull and became rich thanks to his trading activity there. When he left his business, he came to live in York, and there he married my mother, who was from a distinguished English family named Robinson. This is where my name, Robinson Crusoe, came from, which distorted became Crusoe. I had two older brothers. One became a soldier and died in battle, and the other one was never heard again, as my parents would never know what happened to me later. My elderly father wanted me to study law, but my only desire was to sail, and I opposed his wishes and my mother's pleadings. My father spoke seriously to me, telling me that my social class was of the best, and that I would suffer from neither poverty nor the ambition of those in a position of power, and that my life would be pleasant with them, while if I left for these other worlds, I would regret it. I listened to him, but I soon wanted to leave again. I tried to get my mother to intervene on my behalf, but she thought the same as my father, and neither of them wanted to give their blessing to my leaving. One day, I found myself in Hull, and I met a friend who was about to go to London in his father's ship. He invited me to go with him. I, who was now 18, didn't think twice, and I accepted his offer. Without telling my parents, I got on board a ship on 1st September 1651. I am sure that the misfortunes of an adventurer were never started so quickly or lasted as long as mine. As soon as we set sail, a storm blew up with the high wind, and the wave got rougher and tossed the ship about. I, who had never been on a ship before, became seasick, and I regretted not having listened to my father's advice. I even decided that, if I survived, I would return home and never set a foot on a ship again. The next day, with a calm sea, my friend said to me, "How are you? Were you scared last night?" Well, it was a terrible storm. That wasn't a storm, just a bit of wind. In a good ship, that's nothing. The weather was so good over the following days, and the sea so beautiful that I forgot my good intentions. And I was strengthened in my desire to travel. When we entered the Bay of Yarmouth, the wind prevented us from going up the river, and we had to drop anchor. Other ships did the same to protect themselves. A terrible storm then arrived, and the captain, along with the sailors, fought to get the boat under control and to pump out water from a hole in the hold. The situation was so desperate that the captain alerted a nearby cargo ship by firing the cannon. On hearing this explosion, I fainted. When I came around, the cargo ship had sent a boat to help us, and we boarded it. But as it was impossible to get to the cargo ship, we set out for land. In Yarmouth, we were taken in and even given money with which to go to London or return to Hull. My friend introduced me to his father and explained to him that I was made this journey as a test to see if I would continue traveling. "You shouldn't go back to the sea," he told me. Interpret what has happened as an omen." "Why, sir? Would you perhaps abandon the sea now?" I answered. "It's different. In my case, it's my profession. But you have had an idea here is what awaits you if you persist." We went our separate ways after this conversation, and I went to London by road. I didn't know what to do. whether to return home or to go to sea. My desire and the feeling of destiny was pushing me towards the sea, also the shame of returning home. But I didn't realize then that this was the most sensible option to take. And that's it.